we're sad because we ran out of time. I don't remember. I remember going to the Knights of Rizal headquarters because I was looking for Sir Quiambao and he wasn't there because he wasn't anymore the Supreme Commander. But I really wanted to personally
I
thank him.
Yeah, I think he passed in 2019, I think.
That's correct. And when I went there, that was 2000, I think 14, but he just wasn't around because he was no longer the Supreme Commander. So I missed the chance to say thank you in person after so many years, but that man was very kind. He had very nice ideas for the youth, and God bless his soul. He was a good person and a good knight of Rizal.
And then
And
Supreme Commander
yeah, and then of course,
Davide.
Supreme Commander Sir Hilario Davides from Cebu. Uh, when we were doing the Visayas, the first, no, not after that one, there were many other activities that we had, and he was also very supportive. He's still around, and so I want him to know that even though he would not be able to remember us individually, he has touched our lives and he has been a good model and a good leader. And we looked up to him during that time. And we thank him for his leadership and service. And of course, Sir Pedro Rosito, he already passed away. Her daughter is also now a teacher at Cebu Normal University, where I used to teach. I hope she will be, joining us soon so that she will have a better understanding also of how her father has, touched our lives, changed the way we think, and have turned us to be quite self-motivated to do something
Mhm.
for the youth. Sir Romualdo Hinarelao is still around, and he is actually our current Knight of Rizal mentor at the alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. And then there is Sir Manny Cabusao. Sir Manny Cabusao, there's so many good things that, a person of a youth, when who was there with him, working with him. Sir Manny can be, very demanding, but he's very reasonable actually. And I know that he's still with the Knights of Rizal. He's still very active, and he's still helping out at the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute as well as the Jose Rizal Model Student of the Philippines, because JRMSP is his project. He's the father of the JRMSP, I think. Yeah. And then, of course, when I arrived here in the United States, I met one of the Knights of Rizal. I mean, I have met many, but so far it was Sir Ernesto Pamularco, who really, gave time to talk to me, to listen to me, and he has been very patient. And it took a very long time for me to show to him that, sir, we have something that we could do for the youth, even if we are this far. And he has always just been very patient. So he's also right now our current mentor for the alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. And I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful to all these Knights of Rizal, Supreme Commander Sir Rogelio Cambao, Supreme Commander Sir Hilario Davide, Sir Pedro Rosito of the Cebu chapter, Sir Romualdo Generalao, he's still around, Sir Manny Cabusao, thank you, and to our current mentors, which includes Sir Ernesto Pamularco and Sir Generalao. This was a time that the facilitators were asked to work in the background na lang, and that the commission itself were to choose their own facilitator. So yun yung nangyari at that time. Then the picture on the right,
Okay.
that
Right
is
there.
Sir Manny Cabusao,
That's right.
who he was recognizing the facilitators of the 41st National Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. So Sir Manny played a very important role in the National Rizal Youth Leadership Institute that I have attended. And he was there for a very long time. Before I was there, he was already there and he was doing what he was really doing so well. Sir Manny is very dedicated, and I guess he exemplifies what a Knight of Rizal, who's really dedicated to the development of the youth. Rizal has explicitly, said, and we all know that the youth is the hope of the fatherland. And if you look at RA 646, which provides for the existence of the Order of Knights of Rizal, one of the main mission of KOR, or the Knights of Rizal, is to really create opportunities to develop the youth, or provide opportunities for youth development. Sir Manny exemplifies that. He leads that part in the group of Knights of Rizal that we have met during that time.
You looked at him and said, "Wow, this guy is a true Knights of Rizal."
I would say that Sir Manny was very dedicated, and he was also headstrong. Kung alam niyang merong better opportunity, better idea, or a better way for the youth to advance their cause, he would support it. Like, one of the things that he was asking us to do was to think about what the youth can do to the community, and then transform that into a project, or a resolution. And he was very adamant about creating this resolution. And I was like, okay, so this person, Sir Manny himself, was really into putting everything in writing, which is what Rizal was also like. Rizal used the pen to communicate, to make sure that everything is written and then remembered. So Sir Manny was like that. He made sure that whatever we did during the time when we were in the institute, it was on paper all the time. And guess what, Sir Alvin? So all those resolutions were collected. And when we went back to Cebu Normal University, I asked my students to write a resolution that has something to do with their current concern. And these resolutions we submitted to Malacanang Palace. The president during that time was President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, and she responded to the resolutions we submitted. And I said, oh my goodness, I learned this from Sir Manny, and look, it really works. The picture on the right is actually one of my favorite pictures, kasi these are the student leaders from Cebu Normal University whom I have coached, mentored, trained, and brought to the 40th National Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. So you can see there, I'm actually with Anne-Marie Empanado, who is now our super host at the Alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. Anne is very skilled with, doing live events online. And look, we went back that far, and she,
That's right.
she was my student then, and she was good then, and she's so much better now, I would say. So this is why it's one of my favorite pictures. So what happened was, there was the National Rizal Youth Leadership Institute, and the delegation has to go to Baguio, which was quite pricey, and the Knights of Rizal were aware that they were not really able to reach out to a lot of students in the Visayas and Mindanao. It was a little bit easier for the student leaders in Luzon to join in Baguio because of proximity. But then what about, the other students who are in the Visayas who couldn't make it to Baguio? And I really appreciate the leadership of Sir Quiambao, Rogelio Quiambao, during this time, because he really consulted with the youth leaders. Like, are we really able, that's Sir Quiambao on the right, are we really able to reach out to the students, in the very rural areas? Are they able to experience the institute? And he was adamant about it. And so with Sir Manny, who suggested, and you know what, if we cannot bring them to Baguio to join the National Rizal Youth Leadership Institute, let's bring the institute to them. And
That's a
this
good
is
idea.
why we had, yeah, the first Visayas Rizal Youth Leadership Institute.
And now you have this picture.
Yes, and after the first Visayas Rizal Youth Leadership Institute, we also had the first Mindanao Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. So we brought the institute also in Mindanao. So if you're wondering why, I was there in the national. I was actually with a group of really good facilitators. So I remember Hernando Bacosa's there, Janelle's there. We were facilitating in the national level, and then we also went to the Visayas and then to Mindanao. It's because the group of Knights of Rizal who were responsible for the institute during this time wanted to ensure that the experience that the students had in the National Rizal Youth Leadership Institute in Baguio would be the same experience that the student leaders will have in the Visayas and then also in Mindanao. So
Very
I
nice.
think that the Knights of Rizal during this time, they were really very particular with the quality of training that they were providing for the youth.
Now, I bet that was inspiring, seeing all those grown men and grown women be so enthused and so into the education of the kids, and with emphasis on Rizalism. Do you think that's something that kind of, being a witness to that, do you think that's something that affected you in your after years?
Definitely, Sir Alwin. The institute has, having spent 8 years there, 4 of those 8 years, as a, as a student leaders, and then 4 of which as a coach, mentor, teacher, and facilitator of the institute. Definitely, it has, changed or shaped the way I think about the youth. That after, so what happened was in 2006, that was my last National Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. In 2007, we moved, my family and I moved here in the United States. And so there was no activity, no institute for me, no KAPARIZ. And, no, I couldn't, let me think, was I serving the youth still? I think I was, but it was more of just, personal level, going out to the community with my little boy at that time, and, going to schools and giving out something to them. I felt like it was not enough. So in 2011, I called out all those students whom I have mentored from Cebu Normal University and who attended the institute with me as their teacher. And if you look at this picture where I'm wearing yellow and we're all wearing hats, that's the time, at the bottom, thank you, Mr. Alvin, that was the time that we all sat down, we stayed overnight somewhere, and we talked about rekindling our commitment to serving the youth, rekindling our love for Rizal, our lifestyle of Rizalism, and coming up with something new.
That's one thing I wanted to ask you, being the youth. Is there any memorable, funny experience that you had?
Since you asked about the funny experience, so one time, Sir Rosito is also one. Pedro Rosito, he's one of the Knights of Rizal, a very respectable one from Cebu, sent us to a task, sent us to an errand to give letters to all the high schools in the countryside of Cebu. And he rented a van for us, and all we needed to do, and I was already a college instructor at that time at Cebu Normal, and all we needed to do was ride the bus, went, circumnavigated the south of Cebu, and then during lunchtime we went out to the beach, and we were walking in the beach, and the waves just splashed on my face. I think that was something that was very funny, and it has became an inside joke to all of us who are wearing helmets in that picture, blue helmets in that picture. And when I think about these funny memories, I also remember that these little things are what bonded us together. With Sir Pedro Rosito right there, this one took
This one, right? This one, Pedro
no,
Rosito,
the
right
one
here.
with the white hair, and
Okay.
Sir Rosito, Pedro Rosito already passed away. God bless his heart and his soul. He was a very good man. He supported us, and he was, always there to guide us and, to challenge us to do a little bit more. So here in this picture, we were actually the one who were giving him an emeritus award for all that he has done to us in the past. And this was our way of saying that, Sir Cito, we appreciate what you have done in the past. We have become who we are in the present because of your guidance, because of how you molded us to be. And we were very happy that we were able to do this. To be honest with you, Sir Alwin, there are so many nights of Rizal that I wanted to say, you know, big thanks, that we all want to say thank you.
You know, I think that you were thanking them, and I think that these people, all these people, this very esteemed names here, uh, invested their time and effort, and I think they'll be very happy to know that even after years and years of the afterlife of from Enriley, you especially specifically your group that you I will ask you about later in
Mhm.
a minute, the alumni, you guys are still carrying the torch and
Yes,
providing
yes,
for a echoing the
that's correct.
the things that you learned in the
That's
Enriley
correct,
and the
Sir Alvin.
Caparis through your
Mhm.
efforts, but now using multimedia. So would you like to talk about this project?
Yes, so we at the alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute, we were, talking about how we have missed so much for 2020. We did not do anything in 2020. We have been awarding the Young Rizal Youth Leadership, no, the Young Rizal Emulators Award for 8 years now, but last year we couldn't do it. Just like everyone else, we were taken aback by the pandemic. We just didn't know what to do. And so we had a serious meeting last December as well as in January, and we were again reckoning, so we have everything, the values, the training, but what are we doing about it? And then Anne really is a very significant person, and I hope you will get to interview Anne Marie one of these days, Sir Alvin, because she was the key to doing everything online. And then there's Ramon Sanchez. Without his artistic skills, I don't think we can do what we're doing right now. All the posters had to go through him. And then there's Grace Luna. She is our writer in the group. So she writes the literature she wrote actually what are the criteria for the Young Result Emulator Award. That was like 8 years ago. And this year, since we have launched already the Rizal Award, which is the Rizal International Zeal of Leadership Award. Uh, she also wrote the literature for that award. So Anne Marie, Ramwan, Grace Luna, this is the core team of the alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute, and we're very happy that we're able to do the pledge, which is a webinar for the youth. We do it twice in a month. We have also done Rizal Talk, and I don't know if you have seen, Sir Alvin, we had Shane Soloria for Rizal 101. We plan to use the game night format or platform to reach out to the youth. Because, I mean, apart from all of us who really love Rizal without being asked or prompted, there are many out there who don't really know Rizal at all. and we want to reach out to this, this youth, this group of people. Yeah, we are self-supporting right now, and we will welcome all those who want to be part of the group. There are so many things that we can do. We actually need resource persons for our pledge to teach the youth skills that they won't have to enroll themselves for. So basically, Sir Alwin, yung webinar for the youth, we want to offer something na hindi naman ino-offer sa university or college, but they can learn through us. So, like, being a personality in social media, no college is, offering that as a course, but it is, a way of livelihood if a person is very good with doing it online. So we want to teach those things, and we want to empower the youth by giving them skills. So yeah,
Well,
that's where we are right now.
it's very nice to know that in this area of the universe, there's people who are still involved with Rizalism for the youth. And I'm pretty sure in other parts of the world too, maybe in Europe or, in
Yes.
Australia, there are counterpart groups just like you guys are. And I guess as
Mhm.
part of the Knights of Rizal, we want to thank you for
Oh, you're
going out of
welcome,
your
Sir
way,
Alwin. And
going
thank
out.
you too, sir. Kasi alam mo, sir, what I realized how big our family is. All of us who are practicing a lifestyle of Rizalism, all of us who want to serve the youth, all of us who follow the principles and values of our national hero, we're all over the world, and there are so many of us that it is but my one wish that someday when the pandemic is over, or even if it is still the pandemic, we can actually all meet and greet each other. Kasi di ba tayo, Sir Alan, we just met online. And
Right.
when you click Facebook, just Facebook, it doesn't even have to be Google. And you see a lot of organizations who are really dedicated to the life, works, and teachings of our national hero. So we at the Alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute, we are very much aware that we are that one little speck of this, or one little group of this big family of ours. And I just want to say this. Um, the reason why we have not joined the kababaihan para ni Rizal, or the
Yes,
guys in our
Damas. Mhm.
team, yeah, have not joined the Knights of Rizal, except for Riti, because Riti is a Knight of Rizal and he's one of us, is because we know that someone has to be there really just for the youth. And we are aware that KAPARIZ is there too, and we actually want to connect to, we want to connect with them. But thank you so much, Sir Alwin. We are with you with the Knights Rizal in really promoting Rizalism, as well as really providing for the youth, because Rizal has said so many, many things. But the one thing that the youth needs us right now, and we want to be there for them. And I just want to say, because we in our team, we appreciate the fact that, to whom much is given, much is also expected from. And we live by that every day. We know that during our time when we were still growing up, Knights of Rizal like Sir Quiambao, Sir Manny, Sir Pedro Recito invested, their time, effort, and money on us, and we just want to pay forward. This is what it's really all about.
And I think, Rizal really had to go outside the Philippines to be more effective. That's
That's
where he wrote the two books. That's where he wrote articles, and that's where he became involved with the propaganda movement. And I think you
tama.
guys are the modern, I could say, the modern counterpart of Jose Rizal, who has to go out of the country and take advantage of the
Mhm.
first world technology
Correct po.
to be able to mold hopefully the motherland, the youth of the motherland. So in that case, I'd like to thank you for spending time with me, and I wish for you the best, and I hope that the international headquarters is listening, and hopefully they will be viewing this, and maybe they'll be reaching out and maybe working with your talents and to be able to work together in this
Yes,
endeavor.
definitely. We
So
welcome
thank
the
you
thought.
again.